Hello again, this is AZC2 and today I'll be discussing the Electoral Boundary Commission report for what it means at the upcoming general election in Singapore. The Electoral Boundary Review Commission has recommended major changes in Singapore's north, west and northeast regions. Pasir Ris Punggol Group Representation Constituency, a 5-member seat, will be split into 2 4-member seats due to increase in population in the Punggol North Shore region. So, in place of Pasir Ris Punggol will be the new Punggol GRC, which is centered around Punggol New Town, and the Pasir Ris Changi GRC, which takes in Pasir Ris New Town and parts of Changi area. The Changi area was formerly part of East Coast GRC for a long time. As such, Joo Chiat Division from Marine Parade GRC will go over to East Coast GRC, so that East Coast GRC retains 5 members. Marine Parade GRC itself would take in MacPherson single member constituency, currently helmed by the poster girl for Kate Spade, Tin Pei Ling herself. Marine Parade GRC itself will be renamed as Marine Parade Braddell Heights, although Braddell Heights has been part of Marine Parade GRC for the last 28 years, which is ridiculous considering Braddell Heights comprises Serangoon Town Centre and is nowhere near the beach. Lee Hsien Yang himself said that the shape of Marine Parade GRC resembles a salamander, which is a direct result of gerrymandering over the years. Marine Parade GRC has totally swallowed the original wards from Aljunied GRC. The present-day Aljunied GRC, which is helmed by the Workers' Party, is nothing like its former incarnation. Given that the Serangoon division of Aljunied GRC has been vacant since Leon Pereira stepped down after admitting to an affair with fellow party member Nicole Seah, Serangoon itself should be hived off as a single-member constituency. The rest of Aljunied GRC can be then combined with Hougang, a single-member constituency, and be renamed as Hougang GRC. After all, it's the same town council, isn't that right? Meanwhile, in the western side, Queenstown will be removed from Tanjong Pagar GRC and be made a standalone single-member constituency, so that Telok Blangah division of West Coast GRC can be merged into Tanjong Pagar GRC. West Coast GRC, formerly helmed by disgraced Transport Minister S. Iswaran, will be broken up. The remaining 4 wards of West Coast GRC will be merged with 1 ward from Jurong GRC to form Jurong West Coast. Jurong GRC has been the safest PAP seat. It was once held by the popular Tharman Shanmugaratnam, who is now the President of Singapore. Jurong GRC has been broken up. Part of it will be hived off to West Coast Jurong West GRC, while Jurong Central Division will become a single member constituency. The rest of Jurong GRC will be merged with Hong Kah, Bukit Batok and Yue Hua single member constituencies to form the Jurong East Bukit Batok GRC. Now, Jurong East Bukit Batok will include Clementi. Clementi has been redistricted over the years from 1988. It had been part of Pasir Panjang GRC, but Pasir Panjang GRC was later combined with Brickworks GRC in 1991. And in 1997, Clementi was made part of the new West Coast GRC, and it remained so all the way to 2015 when it was annexed by Jurong GRC and has remained in Jurong GRC ever since. So, residents of Clementi have gone from being neighbours with Pasir Panjang to Brickworks to West Coast and then to Jurong. It made the most sense that Clementi was part of West Coast, because Clementi is, after all, right next to West Coast Park. Now, if you look at the Clementi division, it is surrounded to the north and to the east by Holland Bukit Timah GRC. To the north lies the Bukit Timah ward and to the east lies the Ulu Pandan ward. It makes more sense that Clementi can go under Holland Bukit Timah GRC and be managed by Holland Bukit Panjang Town Council. Yes, it means that Holland Bukit Timah will be increased by 1 man, but Jurong East Bukit Batok will just have 4 members. Now, Jurong East Bukit Batok's the existence is interesting because Bukit Batok is a single member constituency, had previously been contested by the Singapore Democratic Party's chief, Dr. Chee Soon Juan, who has every credential to be the Prime Minister of Singapore, which has the ruling elite from the People's Action Party worrying themselves silly. They are out to stop him at all costs. So they have decided that Bukit Batok single member constituency must be dissolved. This reminds us of the way the very marginal Joo Chiat single member constituency was erased from the electoral map in 2015. After the Workers' Party in 2011 nearly came close to claiming victory. As a result, the Workers' Party decided to stake a claim on Marine Parade GRC the moment Joo Chiat was annexed by Marine Parade. The National Solidarity Party, who have been active in Marine Parade, had to pull their team out and shift them to Sembawang. Sembawang already had the SDP active since 2011, and they withdrew their candidates to the neighbouring Marsiling UT GRC, where they have remained ever since. For the record, Marsiling UT is the seat of current Prime Minister Lawrence Wong. if Dr. Chi feels strongly about the gerrymandering of Bukit Batok, as well as if he suspects that Workers' Party leader Pritam Singh was convicted of fabricated charges, he should lead a team in marshalling UT against Lawrence Wong. I'm sure he will get a good result. Even if he doesn't win, he'll probably get a non-constituency MP position. That being said, SDP may try to stake claim on Jurong East Bukit Batok the same way that WP staked claim on Marine Parade in 2015. Paul Thambaya should continue the good work in Bukit Panjang, because Bukit Panjang is technically winnable for him. And its former MP, Dr. Teo Ho Pin, who retired in 2020, was exposed as being the first person that Cheng Li Hui slept with before she slept with the Speaker of Parliament, Tan Chuan Jin, which resulted in both of them having to quit Parliament in 2023. Teo Ho Pin and Cheng Li Hui should never have been allowed to stand for office in 2015. The grassroots leaders in Bukit Panjang, they all know, they know everything. They kept their mouths shut out of respect for Teo Ho Pin's ex-wife. Mrs. Teo had found out her husband had slept with Cheng Li Hui and had threatened to go public with the affair unless she was given a hefty divorce payment. Out of respect for her privacy, the matter was then hushed up. But those who know the truth know the truth. If they had gone public in 2015 on cooling off day, SDP would be running Bukit Panjang today. There is no doubt about it. It remains to be seen how SDP is going to field its candidates, given that several of the areas it was active in have been dissolved. This is reminiscent of Fengshan and Punggol East being scrubbed off the electoral map in 2020 and Joo Chiat in 2015 because the Workers' Party had the best results there. As for Jurong West Coast is currently the most marginal seat in the country, following the Progress Singapore Party's strong showing in 2020 that allowed them to nominate 2 non-constituency MPs. The PSP's founder, Dr. Tan Cheng Bock, himself a long-time member for West Coast GRC, has announced that he will still be running for office despite his advanced age. Dr. Tan sees himself as something of a Mahathir figure in Singapore's political landscape, which allowed his team to nearly topple the PAP team in West Coast GRC in 2020. With Tharman and Iswaran go out of the way, West Coast GRC and Jurong GRC could be broken up. It will be interesting to see if PSP will be contesting in West Coast Jurong West, because it's going to be a challenge for them the most marginal mixed with the safer seat, which will mean that the PAP's vote share will still be high, although not as high as they expect, but still high nonetheless. The PSP and the SDP have been highly influential since 2020, which is why the PAP wants to clip their wings. They know that it's hard to clip the WP's wings, despite WP scoring own goals with what happened to Raisa Khan and Leon Pereira. Pritam Singh's conviction of perjury resulting from the fallout of Raisa Khan's actions did not rule him out of running for office. Aljunied and Hougang are relatively safe for WP. Most people living in those areas are convinced that Pritam has been framed, which, in a way, they have a point. A backdoor SDP government would never put Pritam Singh on trial at all. Pritam has been fixed the same way Amos Yee was fixed before him. As for Jurong GRC, they might need a stronger team. Yeah. Aside from James Lim, the others seem relatively lightweight, and they are also one person short following Raisa Khan's resignation. As a result of her actions that brought the police force to disrepute. That being said, maybe Shahrukh Chana should consider joining the Workers' Party and running in Sengkang, because an Instagram post by Shahrukh had pretty much confirmed everything Raisa Khan had said. Although Raisa wasn't although Raisa herself didn't have personal experiences, she was merely repeating what others had posted in the forums, but she made it seem as if that she was personally involved, which was wrong. Shahrukh Chana hasn't been sued or hit with a takedown order for fake news, because everything she's posted on her Instagram page can only be true. Shahrukh Chana's Instagram post effectively would vindicate Raisa Khan and Pritam Singh on the spot. Maybe. And the senior counsel Harpreet Singh has also been spotted doing his rounds in the Marine Parade area. So Marine Parade is likely to be a hot seat for the next general election. The PAP knows that Aljunied and Hougang are pretty much lost causes, but they still have hope of claiming back Sengkang GRC. They'll be fighting tooth and nail for Marine Parade GRC. To prevent the further loss of seats to any more parties, they have undertaken the major shake-up in the West to clip the wings of PSP and SDP. All this means that residents living in areas contested by WP, PSP and SDP have to vote them in and break the PAP monopoly. By ensuring WP, PSP and SDP win all their contested seats, it will deny PAP of a majority. It means that there will be a hung parliament, because that's what we deserve. What we need is a government that relies heavily on SDP for supply and confidence. Because one such government will never be authoritarian. They can't do what they wish because they'll have checks and balances on every corner. I know Donald Trump has been accused of dismantling mechanisms to promote check and balance. Okay, but it is the PAP who has been guilty of dismantling those mechanisms ever since they came to power in 1959. So yeah, vote wisely. Do your part. Make Singapore great again. Majulah!